Okay, so let me ask you a funny question. Since you got in this car, have you ever thought about buying spark plugs?
No.
Radiator?
No. Oil, carburetor, oil filter, all those things, you don't need it.
So do you need to go for...
It's maintenance free.
Maintenance? That's what I was going to ask you.
Usually, if you do maintenance, it has to do maybe with your tires and then brake system. But as to engine, there's nothing to be done here.
Mohammed,
because you are not changing oil filter, you are not changing oil, you are not changing fuel filter because it's not running on fuel. So no fuel, no oil. The only oil is brake fluid oil. That is in it.
Okay.
So maybe when you run out of brake fluid oil, then you top up. Same as the radiator coolant, you top up. So basically, those are the things that you'll be topping up for now and then maybe this battery, if it runs down, maybe you charge it.
So like a normal lead acid battery. So how long have you been driving these electric vehicles for SolarTaxi?
Well, I've been here since November. So we've been trying all the vehicles, electric vehicles that have been coming here.
All of them. So that means basically is it 10 months or 11 months now? Because
these guys, the vehicles started coming in.
So 10, yeah, about so 10 months now.
December.
So December to September.
Yeah.
So that is still, yeah, it's 10 months.
Yeah.
All right. So how long have you been driving?
Not so long, probably about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years now. And one out of those 4 years, you are doing a lot of EVs. So from your perspective, what are the differences? First of all, what would be your preference, EVs or normal cars?
Well, my preference would go to the EVs.
Why?
Because now I don't have to think of buying fuel every day. As to, hey, I'm on the road, I'm thinking of, hey, would I have enough money to buy fuel? Let's say, if I'm going to make a journey, I'm thinking of, okay, fine. If I'm going from here to Kumasi, maybe I need to fill my tank to, let's say, like 300 or 400 cedis. I don't have to think of all those.
Okay.
And the fun part about this is, I'm a person who likes speed.
Oh.
And you know,
you're Kingsley's friend.
With these cars, when you are using them, you know, with the normal fuel cars, it takes
shifting gears.
You have to shifting gears, and even with the automatic drives, those ones, it takes time for it to pick up. But with this car, you don't get that. Once you hit the pedals, you're going. So most of the time when you are in traffic and the light goes green, you just leave them behind.
They're embarrassing people with more expensive
and they keep
cars.
wondering, like, I can't even because even with the small one, the hatchback, I just go, I'm gone. Because the electrical system here provides the car with the energy it needs for any speed you want to go. At all times.
Okay.
At all times.
So you see somebody who understands.
You don't now have to wait for gears to pick up. No. What's your answer? We're good.
But okay. So let's play devil's advocate here. Okay. So somebody will say that. What about the fact that some of these EVs are more expensive than?
On my side, I wouldn't think it's value for money, because you know we buy fuel in bits, so you don't get to see how much you are spending. But if you sit down and then you calculate how much you're spending in a week, a month on your normal fuel car, not maybe even traveling, just maybe your usual moving from house to work, visiting clients and stuff. If you calculate how much you are spending on fuel, you should know that when you get this, you are saving a lot. Because if I have to spend 20 cedis to 30 cedis to fuel this car to get me to Kumasi, compared to spending 400 cedis, I'm saving a whole lot. Just look at the gap. 30 cedis to 400 is huge. So if I compound all that money and I'm putting it into this is value for money. And from the manufacturer, we understand that with these vehicles, the battery have a lifespan of 10 years. So imagine for 10 years.
How do you call it? Is it guarantee 10 years. So
Yes.
in case, within the 10 years, if the battery starts misbehaving,
That one, I wouldn't be able to give a direct answer. But from the manufacturer, that is what we know.
okay, so
It has a 10-year
this
lifespan.
as you are watching, we'll find out and we'll put somewhere in the video that information for sure. So look at the top, you will see the writing there, whether it is a guarantee for 10 years or not. Okay, so I think that is. What about those who say you can, if you get shut off electricity on the way, then you cannot go and buy one charge of electricity as opposed to 1 gallon of.
One fun part about this guy is once you have a full battery, you know what mileage you could cover. Unlike if I have a fuel car, I can only see the fuel gauge, but the fuel gauge doesn't tell me that I can cover the distance I can travel before I run out of fuel. It will only tell me that I have this amount of fuel in my car. So as I'm moving on my distance, when I run out at a point, which means that is the distance that the car got
Between you and God.
Between me and God, unless I find a near. But with this one, you can actually plan your journey.
Okay.
So, for example, I'm going from Accra to Cape Coast. I've charged my car to full. I know I have 400 kilometers. I know how much it takes from Accra to Cape Coast. So in my mind, I know I can make that trip. So you know what you have, what you are going to use it for before you run out. Okay. So even though you have the battery bars showing you this is how much battery life you have in the vehicle, it also tells you that you have X amount of kilometers to do before you run out of battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's always informing.
What about those who say that our roads are not good for this? The one of the objectives I've heard.
No, the roads have no effect on the engine, or should I say on the motor of the vehicle. You get what I'm saying? Because this one is not using a fuel vehicle whereby dust and those things get into the fuel, your oil gets dirty, you have to change it and all those things. This one is purely electric. The only thing maybe you should consider is maybe if I'm traveling, if my tires are good enough for the road,
shocks.
And my shocks are good enough for the road.
It's standard for any car.
Standard for any car, but with the side of the electrical system that runs the car, I don't think it has anything to do with the road. It doesn't mind which road it's on, because when we drive it out, you could tell.
You enter the manholes, pretending to be potholes.
Yes.
Well,
them, and then the suspension too is great. Yeah.
Anyway, you heard it here first. Ladies and gentlemen, Mohammed of SolarTaxi taking care of some misconceptions about electric vehicles. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.